Assalamu alaikum, dear viewers, and welcome back. In my previous video, I talked about a person who pretended to be pious, but through his actions and schemes exposed himself as a tyrant and a hypocrite. So, once I returned from the coffee house incident, I told my wife what happened. She told me she already knew, because she had already spoken to her sister, so she asked me if we missed something that we did not see before, because the red flags are becoming more visible. So I started to dig in my memory, and I recalled an incident where he was once working for a disabled man in the scaffolding business. He got into an argument and grabbed the disabled owner by his chest, and he threw him down the stairs while he was on crutches, or in a wheelchair at the time. But because he was always talking about the Sunnah and quoting the Hadith, I dismissed it as a bad temper and what he did was wrong, but he would make amends. Then I recalled another incident when he was out of work due to his fight, and he wanted to start his own business. He learned about my failed immigration attempt, so he offered me a job as a sales manager. With his contacts and my sales skills, we could set up a fine company. All we needed was a project manager and an investor. I knew a guy who could help, so we set up a meeting. The guy was a co-owner and would discuss it with his partner, where we planned to make him a project manager. Once he got to the investor, he fired me as a sales manager and the co-owner as a project manager. Later, I learned that the investor had turned him down because he said, "How can I engage in a business with him? If he is that traitorous with his friend, what will he do to me then when we are in business together?" The red flags started to pile up even more, but he loved to talk about Islam and halal and haram to such an extent where he almost overemphasized it. Later, I found out he just said these things because, in a way, that was what I wanted to hear in the period when I was investigating and trying to learn more about Islam. Until one day my younger brother went to a casino and saw him gambling there while consuming alcohol, clearly not practicing what he was preaching at the time. So other people also see the inconsistencies. Did I see some things that I convinced myself I did not? Was I lying to myself? Did I hear things and convince myself, no way, not him? He is swearing to Allah and saying wallahi. Nobody is that foolish to invoke the name of Allah and then lie to his creator. Turns out this happened to Isa alayhi salam, also known as Jesus, where he caught a person red-handed in an illegal action. Then, when Isa confronted him with it, he was swearing to Allah and saying, "It is not what you think you saw." Out of respect for Allah's name, Isa replied, "My eyes are lying. I did not see what I think I saw, even though he knew what he saw and what the man was doing. But since you invoked Allah's name, he is sufficient to handle this case, as nobody is that foolish to lie to his creator." Now imagine this person being alive today and then repeatedly hiding behind Allah's name while clearly lying. Would you make it a big deal or leave it for Allah to handle it? It would turn out that his mask would fall off and not only expose his character and behavior, but also his ill deeds, with every single promise that he did but never fulfilled. But that story will continue in another video. Until then, Assalamu alaikum.